Welcome back, everyone, to Front Office Sports, continuing coverage of Super Bowl 59, giving you insights and analysis from some players, executives, and legends joining us right now, like the Hall of Famer Marcus Allen. Marcus, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
Do you ever get tired of coming to these Super Bowls all the time?
No, it's too much fun. Yeah. Oh, Dante. Yeah. I'm sorry. You know what? Come on. I occasionally,
it's okay.
This is like live TV, right?
Live TV, but that's what makes the TV better. That's what makes it so good. Marcus, before we talk nitty-gritty about the game and football and everything, I want to talk about your partnership you got going on with Emory College of Arts and Sciences. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, just bringing awareness to, brain health, CTE, concussions. Emory is doing a fantastic job. They're a leader in neuroscience, pharmacology, sports science. They're on the verge of just amazing breakthroughs and reducing the inflammation after a concussion, you know what I mean, which is really, really important for immediate health and long term. So we have some fantastic people working on it. Dr. Christina Gabignano, I think, hopefully I said that correctly. She's like the Barry Sanders of doctors, you know what I mean? She's
we just met her. She's lovely.
Yeah, she's doing some great stuff. So I'm glad to be a part of it.
Well, we saw this last year, concussions down.
Yeah.
Obviously, rule changes help with that. Guardian caps help with that as well. Is that an encouraging sign?
It is.
That we're seeing.
It is.
Like,
but it not only applies to just football players. Soccer.
Yeah.
Soldiers. I mean, there's a lot of head trauma out there and stuff. And so, if we can find ways and solutions to help those people and prevent them from having issues that really impact their lives in a negative way, I'm glad we're out there doing that.
And we've also seen a rise of players like yourself talking more about the importance of mental health as well.
Yep.
It's got to be refreshing when we're seeing players. For so long, this seemed like this was an issue nobody wanted to talk about, but it's becoming less and less destigmatized as a result.
Well, it's for me, a guy who loved his teammates. It's very difficult to see guys that have changed, and you notice a change over a year or two, you know what I mean? And sometimes you don't have to have a concussion, it could be just, years and years of just helmet-to-helmet contact, or helmet to ground, or whatever it may be and stuff. So, those things, unfortunately, have taken a toll on a lot of people and stuff. And so, mental health, brain health, all the things that, football players deal with is something that we should certainly look at and see we can do to, certainly make things better.
We know, of course, you're a legend with the Raiders, but also the Chiefs as well.
Yeah.
The idea of a three-peat or three-time straight champion, really sort of exciting. What are your thoughts on this for this franchise to be in the record books for that?
I wouldn't be surprised. Although I watched several games this year, and I thought they were at least going to lose at least five.
There was a few that were games, there were a few.
End up winning.
Yeah, like that Broncos game with that field goal kick.
That is something to be said about a team that finds a way to win. And there certainly have been in that situation, several times, and in big games where it is comfortable. So if they ever get behind, it's no panic whatsoever. There are, we've been here before. We've won. Let's just do it again. You got one of the greatest coaches, in Andy Reid on the sidelines. You got Steve Spagnuolo, who was, great defensive coordinator. And then you have players, right? And obviously we know that what Patrick Mahomes has done, not only with his arm, but with his legs, he just kind of like finds a way to win, right? He wills his team to victory. And it's kind of hard to even though you look at the other side of the ball, like with Saquon and Jalen Hurts and Brown and Smith and their tight end has done a great job. They have talent as well. So it should be. I actually thought the Eagles would have won the last time they played, and they didn't. So again, the Chiefs are the defending champions for a reason. And if you're going to beat them, you got to beat them.
You got to beat them.
Give it to you.
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, that was always the talk with the Warriors of, are you tired of the dynasty fatigue? And Klay Thompson would always famously say, well, then beat us. Beat us, you know?
Yeah,
Hate
exactly.
this, change it. You mentioned Saquon. It's got to be exciting as a running back to see guys who are putting up incredible numbers and having just spectacular seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, even though I know, obviously, your heart is with the Chiefs, it's got to be fun to watch a guy like Saquon this weekend, too.
First of all, I'm a fan of running backs.
Yeah.
Right? And I wish actually, Eric Dickerson probably doesn't like this, but I wish he had gone for the record because I believe that it's your record, but it doesn't, belong just to you, right?
Yeah.
Your high school, right? Your coach, your lineman, the city of Philadelphia, would have taken such pride, right? And so I'm not one to ever think about injury or anything like that. I would have just said, come on, Cole, let's just go and get it. And if if you're so concerned, I'll get it in the first half and then I'll be done. But I thought it's to be, now, whether it's, 14 games, 16 games, 18 games, there'll always be an asterisk that
right.
Somebody will always play something there. But the fact is that you're on top, and it's a hard game, right? And sometimes you say, I may never get that opportunity again, so let me take full advantage of it,
Yeah,
so.
You bring up a great point, and it's interesting you say all this because just a few moments ago we talked to future NFL star Ashton Denty from Boise State, who, if you love running backs,
I love Ashton.
He's so great. And I asked him, he was 28 yards shy of breaking Barry Sanders' record for most yards at a collegiate level. And I asked him, does that drive you crazy? And he's like, honestly, just to be in that conversation with somebody like Barry Sanders, it's worth it.
He's very diplomatic.
Yes, right? He is. He clearly is. I mean, obviously, he wants.
Listen here, to be 280 yards short, that's one thing. To be 28,
very different.
That's another. It's like, for example, I at one point I had the longest run in Super Bowl history, and it was broken by what?
There was like a
1
yard.
yard. That's what I mean. Come on, 1 yard. Come on.
The semantics just ruined all of this. Marcus, you and I could talk forever, but such a legend. So excited to be in the vicinity of a legend, and thank you so much for all what you do and talking about mental health, CTE, and all of that.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right, we got more interviews coming your way. Stay with Front Office Sports.